All right, guys, we're working on lesson 8.9, which is the last lesson in this unit. This lesson doesn't introduce anything new, per se, but it does test your knowledge with some higher order thinking questions, okay? So, for instance, on page 366, and this is where your notes should come from. Parts B and C are your notes, and what we're doing here is your notes. Okay, so everybody should have this example, and I want you to submit the notes with the work as well. So the notes are part of your work. So it says Gwen is planning to tile the entire floor on a family room and kitchen. The tile costs 12 circle per square foot. What is the total cost of tiling the family room and the kitchen floors? Okay, so we want to know the total cost to tile all these areas. Okay, so first we start with the area of your family room. That's this section right here. Okay, let's break it into parts. Remember, if we were finding area of this combined shape, we break it into our two parts. We find the area of this, we find the area of this. Okay, and then we add them together. So no difference. Here we're gonna have 17 1/3 times 13 1/2. The only difference in the book is they write going sideways. I think this is confusing for kids, but everything you see here is where it came from. So you have 52 over 3, because we did 17 times 3, plus 1, which gives you 52. Denominator stays the same. 13 1/2, 13 times 2 is 26, plus 1 is 27. We put it over 2. We're turning our mixed numbers to improper, so we can solve. Okay? How I prefer you to do this is you write going straight down. That way you don't get confused where these numbers come from. Right? We end up with 52 over 3 times 27 over 2. Okay, it's a lot easier to see than when you're writing this way. So let's go here. Let's start right there. So now that we have 52 over 3 times 27 over 2. So somewhere I need to see this work of 52 times 27. Okay, now obviously you guys are at home. You can use your calculator. Great. Okay. Moving forward, you will be able to use your calculator in 6th grade, so you're fine. So we end up with 1,404 over 6. 3 times 2 is 6. This is just numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Okay. Then finally, the division. 1,404 divided by 6 is going to give you 234. Okay, and this is square feet, right? Because both of my numbers are in feet. So we found the area here. I like to put it in the middle, circle it, and say I'm done with this portion. Then we move on to the next portion, which is going to give you the area of this shape. Okay, the area of this shape. Right here, the kitchen. The kitchen is 12 times 10 3/4. Okay, again, they're writing going sideways. I'm going to write going straight down. So we're going to bring the 12 down, bring the multiplication sign down, so you don't get confused where any of this stuff is coming from. 10 times 4 is 40, plus 3 is 43, over 4. Put this whole number over 1. Convert it to a fraction. Very easy to do here. Now we're ready to multiply. Numerator, numerator. Denominator times denominator. Okay. 12 times 43 is going to give you 516. Over 1 times 4 is 4. Okay. Now to turn this back to a mixed number or a whole number, we divide 516 divided by 4, which would give you the answer of 129 square feet. Okay. So we found the area of this portion. We've now found the area of this portion. Okay. What do we do to know the area of all the space? You simply add them together. So we end up with 234. That's a funky 2. Plus 129. Okay. Which is going to give you the grand total of 363. Okay, that's for both of these. 363. Okay, now what do we do with that 363? Because remember, we're trying to find cost. We just know it's 363 square feet for the whole space. Now, if we're going to put a tile, that's going to cost $12 per square foot tile. All we're doing is means taking our total area times the cost of the tile per square foot, which is 12, 363 times 12 to give you a grand total of $4,356. Okay, this is how much it would cost to tile the total space. Okay. Remember, guys, key points. Always want to turn mixed to improper. If it's a whole number, put it over 1. Okay, remember, area is always going to be length times width. How wide is it? How tall is it? Those are the numbers you're multiplying. Okay, if it's a combined shape like this, we're going to break it up into the separate spaces and find the area of each, then add them together to see the square foot. If it's a cost question, okay, if it's a cost question, they're going to give you a total per square, whatever we're working with. In this question, it's feet, so it's $12 per square foot, and you simply multiply that by your total area to get your total answer. Okay, guys, for homework, we want to do 1 through 5. Okay, 1 through 5. I'm going to try to limit it so we can get prepared to go over our reviews. Okay, quickly, before we get to that, the only other thing I wanted to go over is estimate. Okay, estimate is easy, guys. For some reason, we make estimate hard when estimate should be easier because we're not actually doing the work. For instance, guided practice, page 367, it says the website has a daily and trivia contest on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's 3 days. Okay. You have 1.5 hours to submit. So that's 3 times 1.5 hours. Okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Then it says on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 days, you have 1 1/4 hours. Okay, 2 days, 1 1/4 hours. And then finally, on Saturdays and Sundays, you only have 3/4 of an hour. Plus 2 days times 3/4 of an hour. Okay? How many hours each week do you have to submit an answer? Okay, so number 1, it says estimate the total hours each week you have to submit an answer. Write an equation to show your work. Now, I've already set up an equation for you guys, okay? But this is how you would find the exact answer. Remember, we just want an estimate. So we're always going to start with our fractions, okay, and return them into whole numbers. So 1 1/2, okay, we'll round to 2. So we have 3 times 2 for that portion. This one, 1 1/4, again, 1/4 is closer to being 0/4 than it is a whole, so we'll round it down to 1. So we rounded 1 up, rounded 1 down, okay? And finally, 2 times 3/4. 3/4 is closer to being 1 whole, so we're going to turn that into 1. Okay, so this is our equation, and my answer would be 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2 times 1 is 2, 6 plus 2 plus 2, going to give you a grand total of 10 hours. Okay, and let's put about 10 hours because it's an estimate. Okay, that's your answer for the estimating. Okay, if you wanted to find the actual answer, you'd be turning these to improper. Okay, you put your whole numbers over 1, 3 over 1, 2 over 1, 2 over 1. You'd multiply, add your products together, and voila, you got an answer. Now, if you're adding products with different denominator, remember, you would have to change the denominator before you actually added them. But this question is simply an estimate. All right, good luck, guys.